Good morning. Today I am going to go outside and do some planting. Yesterday I had planned to do this, but it was absolutely pouring down with rain as usual, and so I haven't had a chance to plant up my bulbs that I need to plant, which I'll show you. I have more since I last showed you my bulb collection. We went back to B&Q and I bought some more, some daffodils and stuff, so I'll show that in a sec. But I've also got to pick some beetroot because I want to make a beetroot cake today and do some pickled beetroot, and then tidy up the last bed that we've got, which is the bed with the marrows in. Most of those have died off now, so I'm going to pull those out and compost those. So that's what I'm planning to do today. So yeah, I'm going to pop outside now and do some of this exciting stuff. So these are the bulbs that I'm talking about. They were from B&Q and we got them last time that we went there. We got some dwarf daffodils, tete-a-tete. Some miniature little minnow daffodils, these white ones with yellow centres, which are really pretty. I think they're a cluster head one as well, so you get 3 heads on one stem. We got some dwarf irises called Harmony, and my favourite grape hyacinths or muscari, which I used to have growing in my old balcony and in my garden in my last place that I lived in London. And some crocuses, when these are just a mixed variety of crocuses. And the plan was to plant these in the garden today, but whilst I was getting these out of the bag to film them for you, I noticed that it says dig soil improver and bone meal into the planting hole before planting. So I don't have any bone meal, so I have just ordered some off of eBay. So that should arrive at some point this week, hopefully, and then I can plant these. I've got until December by the looks of things on the back of these packets. They're all about the same. Yeah, I've got until December, so we're only October now, so there's a little bit more time. It's just a shame because it's a beautiful day out there. Do excuse how dirty my hands are. I've just planted up my honey sansevierias into bigger terracotta pots because they were starting to pop out the sides of them, so they look lovely now. So yes, these are my new bulbs and they join the ones that are going to go under the buddleia. So there's bluebells, snowdrops and snake's head fritillary, which I'm very excited to plant with these. So it's going to have to be next weekend now because I don't know. Yeah, they all need bone meal and soil improver, but they're going to get bone meal because I don't know what soil improver is. I've also bought, just do it while I'm down here, a bulb planter. This house is too much of a mess for me to show you this in any other angle. So yeah, I got this off eBay last week, so that should hopefully make life easy planting these. Our soil is not the easiest to dig because of the bits and bobs that people have thrown under the soil before they put the grass down, so hopefully it won't be too bad. But I can't do it this weekend even though the weather is absolutely sparkly outside. So instead of planting these, I'm going to pop outside and get on with the other things I need to do in the garden, which is to sort my marrows and to pick some beetroot for this beetroot cake I'm planning to make. Exciting. So I've got my beetroot. There's quite a few left. They're really tiny, so I'll probably do one last sweep in a week or two and just pickle what's left. So next on to getting rid of the disaster that is in there. Okay, so instead of pulling them all out, I've left some because there is some courgettes still on the courgette plants. There's one there that needs to get a little bit bigger, and there's a few more here. So what I've done instead, to stop the slugs eating them, because that's how I've lost the majority over the last few weeks, I've kind of staked it up so it's off the ground, so hopefully That will help, and I've done that with the one over there. This is the bed that I'm going to plan to plant my garlic in. I need to read up a bit more about what kind of soil they like and stuff. But I'm going to do that probably next weekend, as I need to just check what I need to do and I do one of the varieties I have. Doesn't need to be planted until November, so I've got a little bit of time for that. So I'm just going to get rid of all this into the compost heap. So this motley crew are now going to be boiled up. I'm going to take the leaves off and I'll save the best ones to put in the salad that we're going to have tonight. There probably won't be a huge amount of good ones because they've gone a bit moth-eaten now, but they're quite tasty in a salad. So yeah, I'm going to boil those for about an hour until they're soft, and they should peel really easily then. And I can make my pickled beetroot and my apple and beetroot cake. So while my beetroot is bubbling away and stinking out the whole house with its earthy aromas, I am going to start on the apple cake. It's apple and beetroot cake, so the beetroot is going to have to be put in there at some point. But I thought I'd prep all the ingredients that I need first so that I can put it in as soon as it's ready. The recipe that I'm going to be using today is from Riverford Organics. It's a Devon company that sells organic food, but they've got some recipes on their site too, and it's a recipe that looked very appealing to me. I've never used beetroot in a cake before. I've heard lots of people use it for chocolate cakes and things, so this is going to be quite interesting. So yeah, I'm going to prep all the bits and bobs for that whilst I wait for my beetroot to cook. So I've measured out 50 grams of butter and I'm just melting that gently in a pan. I need to wait until it turns brown and smells a bit nutty before I add in the 100 ml of sunflower oil. Now I don't have sunflower oil, so I'm going to be using olive oil. So hopefully that'll be okay. I'm sure it will. Nutty? I don't know. Does that smell nutty? It smells buttery. I must say these cylindrical beetroot are so much easier to peel. You literally grab it and squeeze it and the skin comes off. Here that I picked just enough to make this cake. It needed 300 grams and this is exactly 300 grams. So now we've got the ever so fun task of waiting there. So I now need to transfer this into the baking tin that's back there, but it's the pinkiest cake I've ever made. It's not looking very appetising at the moment. I'm hoping it picks up. So while I wait for my cake, I want to quickly show you my seeds and how quickly they've sprouted since I planted them at the beginning of the month. With the straw flower, only the rose seems to have signs of life so far. So Indian Prince is the only one that's come out of the calendula seeds, and that was the one I actually really wanted to grow, so that's good. Orange King hasn't done anything yet. The Nigella, which is the 1994 expiry date seed, there is a little sprout in there. I don't know if it's Nigella, it could be the same situation that we had with the sweet peas. Nothing in the scabious yet. Cornflower, we've only got a few here, and that's from the newer packet of seeds. We've got one at the front and a little one at the back, so fingers crossed we'll get a few more in the next few days. This beast is cooked. Knife still keeps coming out wet, but it could be that I'm hitting bits of apple and beetroot and stuff, so I'm going to just test the sides and see if it falls apart. I haven't made a single cake in this house that hasn't been an utter disaster, so I'm hoping this isn't another one, but it's a lot lighter than it started off as. It's pink, but very softly pink now, so let's have a look. I broke my cake. I'll show you. So yeah, that went less than well. I managed to break it in half, but it is cooked. I was definitely hitting bits of beetroot and stuff. So I'm going to leave that to cool. And yeah, I'm supposed to put an orange drizzle over the top, but I've just tasted a bit and I don't think I'm going to bother. So that's done. Another slight disaster in this house of cake cookery, but I try. That's all I'm going to say. You can see, if you look at the innards, bits of gooey beetroot in there, which I'm hoping Ben isn't going to freak out about because he's not a fan of beetroot. But it doesn't seem to taste like beetroot. So yeah, I'm now going to give it a try. I think that's chef's prerogative, isn't it, to try it before anyone else. It looks a bit like a cherry Madeira cake. So let's see what it tastes like. It's much sweeter than I was expecting. And you can taste the apple a little bit. Haven't found a walnut yet, but yeah, really happy with that. I'm not sure if I'd make the effort to go to making all that again, because it was a bit of a mess and a bit of faff. But for a special occasion, and if Ben likes it, I'd be tempted to make that again. It's certainly different to pickled beetroot, even though I love pickled beetroot. So yeah, I think that's a win, despite the fact it broke in half.